According to Gallup, employees that lean into their strengths are 3 times more likely to have an excellent quality of life and 6 times more likely to be engaged in their job. So if you're struggling at work, struggling in life, struggling at home, whatever that thing may be, lean into those strengths just a little bit. See if it changes things for you. Cue the music. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, listeners, wherever you may be tuning in from, whatever time you may be tuning in to us. Welcome back to the Good Leader Podcast. How was that? That was pretty good, right? That wasn't too bad.
That was a good Jared and
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is not Jared, if you're listening. This is the one and only Brian Harris back on the pod for the finale of Pixarpalooza. We are wrapping up the last few episodes. We've been talking about all these incredible leaders from the history of Pixar, all the way to the very beginning of Toy Story, and all the way up to the most recent of... What is the most recent Pixar movie, Kyle?
Inside Out 2?
Inside Out 2, yeah.
Inside Out 2
just came out.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing
in the theaters.
That's why we're doing the tournament
to begin with.
Come on.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
By the way, as of recording, it has passed the record. It's the #1 most watched Pixar movie.
Yeah, it's the number one animated movie.
Animated movie, yeah.
It broke the box office record.
It
was absolutely incredible. Honestly, I wish we could put it on the list because it would have done phenomenal.
Talk about hitting all demographics.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. It was amazing. Now you're hearing some other voices if you're just listening. If you're watching, you're getting to see them. But for the finale, we figured we'd bring back into the studio a couple of the Good Leader Podcast originals. Anja's back with us. Jess is back with us. Welcome back.
Hi, everybody.
We've been missing
like a reunion.
It does.
We missed you guys.
We don't even need Jared for the reunion.
No, We've
got
need him.
fake Jared right
You
here.
got fake Jared right here. I
and
tried
Kyle's
my best,
voice.
You know?
Hey.
Fake Jared, Kyle's voice.
I'm on a really great
Too
microphone. They were before the show. They were like, "Wow, Kyle, you sound like you're on the radio or something."
It does feel.
Hey, everybody.
It does feel very
It's not so
radio-y.
much on the mic, but in the office, I do mistake your voice for Jared. Like I'll hear you
that's funny.
talking, and I'm like, Jared's not even here today, and then I remember it's Kyle.
It's me.
Sometimes Brian too. Every now and then.
Every now and then. I can channel it when
So
I
don't
need
worry,
to,
he's
you
here.
know?
He's here in presence.
He's here in
Yeah.
presence
in
and
spirit. Really in
Yeah.
spirit.
Wow.
We miss you, Jared. If you're listening,
He'll want the shout out, and he will be listening.
He will.
I
So
hope
his heart is warm right now.
100%.
I hope you're enjoying the beach.
But we have to wrap up Pixarpalooza. We've been talking about it, like I said, for the last few episodes now. We're down to 4 Pixar movies in our finale of the bracket. We've got Monsters University versus Cars 3. And we've got Toy Story 3 versus A Bug's Life. Now, 4 incredible movies, all phenomenal leadership lessons, all phenomenal traits that we can take away from it. Great things from each movie. That's why they're in the final 4. That's why they've made it here. Finding Nemo 2 got edged out, though. Got kicked out of the top 5.
Finding Nemo. Almost made it. We had a conversation.
We did.
We talked to the listeners. We're down to the last 4.
We are final 4. So we're going to go through those 4 today. Pick the #1 leadership movie to take leadership lessons out of within the Pixar universe. And we're going to wrap this thing up. So Kyle, I'm actually going to let you just kind of take it away. Give us your thoughts. Give us how you're feeling about the final 4. What are you thinking?
Hey, I got it. All right. So we have our 4 movies left. We got Monsters U. It's a honestly underrepresented movie in the Pixar universe. If everybody that I talked to has watched it, has said like, wow, that's honestly a great movie that I never think about. Cars 3, another one of those that's it's a threequel, but people often sleep on Cars 3. But these are 2 of our top favorite leadership lessons from a movie. Then we have a heavy hitter. Toy Story 3 is one of the top selling Pixar movies of all time versus a classic Bug's Life. So we're going to get to it here in just a second. I've got a game for you 3. If we've got a quick second to play a game. You know I love an activity.
Anja has been missing these activities. I know
I've
that.
been missing.
You know. Okay, so this is a classic activity that we do at Paradigm Shift events. It's called Pick 5. I'm going to think of 5 Pixar-based items. 5 Pixar-based items.
Whoa.
All you have to do...
Items?
Just a general term for people, places, things, a noun, if you will.
Okay.
All you have to do is name as many of the same 5 that I name. So if you really like one and it's a great answer, but I don't say it, you don't get a point.
Okay.
But if, for example, the category is characters and I say Buzz Lightyear and you say Buzz Lightyear.
Got it.
Congratulations, you get a point.
Incredible.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to do a few rounds. Oh, incredible. You know what? Not a point, ghost point.
Yes.
I'll give you a little ghost point.
He loves ghost points too.
Take that.
He does. So our first round is going to be Pixar sidekicks. Pixar sidekicks. Now you can look these up if you'd like. There's no cheating
you.
in trying to name a Pixar sidekick, but I am going to pick 5. Your goal is to pick the same 5 Pixar sidekicks as me. Now,
We want to pick what Kyle would pick.
once again, this is based on what you know about me as a Pixar fan, as a human being. What are some of my favorite Pixar movies? Who are some of my favorite Pixar characters you may or may not know?
Gosh, we've talked about so many Pixar things just over the years, Kyle, that this is gonna be tough.
And I will say this is pretty subjective, so I'm gonna say who I think is a sidekick. You can be like, hey, listen, they're a main character.
Sure.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
All right. You got your 5?
No.
You got your 5?
Gosh,
oh my
wait,
gosh,
no.
hurry up.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'm doing it right now.
hurrying.
5 seconds.
Okay.
I'm typing.
Wow.
Okay.
5, 4, 3,
Oh, that's a good one.
2.
Hold on.
Fine.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm picking probably the most basic ones that.
Okay. Some of them you may have heard from earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm kind of remembering the episodes that I did listen to.
Right.
And I'm trying to also think about which ones you like.
Sure, I'm
What
ready. I
movies
got my
you
5.
like.
Sure.
Locked in, Kyle.
Okay.
I'm good too.
Okay.
I have a
On,
fun
you got
one.
your 5?
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay, here we go.
Go.
Here we go. Number 1. This is. I'm gonna come back to that one because I feel like coming out of
God,
the gate
you
with
can't
this one.
build that
Coming out of the gate
anticipation
with
up
this
and
one, you
just
guys are gonna be like,
drop
"Oh,
me
this is
off."
gonna be stupid." He's just gonna say a bunch of stupid answers, but it's a good answer. Number 1, Slinky.
No.
Slinky Dog.
Dang it.
Slinky Dog.
No.
He has his own ride. Slinky Dog
he
Dash.
does.
It's a great
Yeah,
ride.
it is
I
a
love
great
that
ride.
ride. All right. Nobody got Slinky?
Dang it.
Wait, no,
Okay.
I did put Slinky.
You got Slinky?
Yeah.
Can I see it?
Ooh,
Right here.
Checking her.
That's dorky, but I'll take
No.
it.
No. I have to explain myself. I have to explain myself. I was typing so fast.
Who's dorky?
Okay.
I'm just killing it.
I don't want to tell you who that one is.
okay.
It's
That
not
one's secret.
dorky though.
I have my list. I'll be honest.
I didn't spell the names right.
Okay.
I'll tell you what that one is at a later round.
Okay.
Dog was meant to be dog,
Okay.
but it's typed out Doug. But it was a Slinky Dog. Look, I just looked it up here.
okay. Okay. I appreciate
Give
it.
her a half point.
Yeah, I'll take a half.
I'll give you
Honestly,
half
I'm
point.
not
I'll give you
earning
half point.
myself
I'll
a
give it
lot.
half
There is a
point. Not a
character
whole
named
point.
Doug.
That's
There's
a tough
character
whole
named
point.
Doug.
It is.
All right.
In
all
Toy
right.
Story?
No.
No, in Pixar.
Yes, in Pixar.
Yeah, Doug the dog.
Don't worry. I've got.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I will count if Doug comes up. I won't take the
Okay.
credit.
Good.
We're
I
gonna keep
won't
moving
take
on. Here we go. We got Dorky. Number 1, Dorky.
Please. Look, I had it right.
All right. I got
See?
you. I understand. Number 2, Bruce.
Oh,
Finding Nemo.
dang it.
I'll never know my
Wow,
father.
I didn't even
Bruce?
put a
I
Nemo
love
character.
Bruce.
Wow.
What a great
Not
character.
Dory?
No.
Not Dory.
Dory's the main
Thanks.
character to me. She has her own movie.
She got her.
That's
own movie.
fair.
I
All
guess
right.
she does.
Next up, I'm going Jack.
Oh, I
That's
almost
a
put one of
great
the
one.
Incredible
Jack.
Kids. but
Yeah.
didn't
I
do it.
should have.
It's
Dang it.
kind of hard
All
to
right.
pick a sidekick
Okay.
for. I could have said Frozone.
I-
You know what? If you said Frozone, give
Yes.
yourself a point.
Yeah.
Wow, everybody said Frozone.
Yes.
Actual literal
Let's
sidekick.
go.
Yes.
I
A
should've been on
literal
my list.
sidekick. Yeah,
Should have been on my list. Next up, Kevin.
I put
Kevin's
Doug.
a girl.
I put Doug.
Kevin's
Wait,
a
was
girl?
Kevin the boy on Up?
Kevin
No,
is
Kevin's
the big bird.
He's
Okay.
the big, ridiculous bird. In that.
I was very far off that one.
I did put Doug.
One of my favorite quotes of all time. Kevin's a girl.
Kevin's a girl.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
say that all the
So
time.
that's where Doug is.
Yeah,
Okay.
Doug.
Next one, I believe this is my last one, 5 out of 5, is Bruno.
No.
Bruno from Luca.
Oh, I didn't get any of
Bruno.
these.
That's the one that I was going to start with, and you guys were going to be like, well,
I haven't
that's
watched
stupid.
Luca, so
Okay,
not upset
Bruno
about that
never
one.
actually shows up in the movie. They just talk about
Wow.
a character named
Okay.
Bruno. Silencio
Dang.
Bruno.
Kyle, I had some good
You know
ones.
what? I'll give an
I
extra
did.
point. I'll give an extra point because Bruno's not actually a character in Luca.
Okay. Replacement.
Nigel. Anybody say Nigel?
No.
Nigel the Pelican.
I will say,
Okay.
That's a
I
good
did
side
win by
character,
half a
though.
point,
Dang
I
it.
think, though.
No, yeah.
Oh, well, that's round
Technically,
one.
She did.
Round
She
one.
got
We're
Okay,
gonna
I
do-
won just
Ange took
round
round
one.
one.
We're going to do
only.
one more round. We're going to do
Okay.
one more round.
All right.
All right. All right.
Characters still?
We're going to go with Pixar. I was almost going to say Pixar songs, but I feel like that's going to be a little too tricky. You know what? You can look it up. You can look up your
Tough
answers.
one.
Pixar songs.
Whoa.
Songs?
Pixar songs.
Like on a soundtrack?
All right.
Pixar
all right,
songs.
All right. Get out of here. Leave me alone.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, you're going to have to give me just a quick second for this
Yep.
one then.
Yep.
I'm ready.
I gotcha.
I'm ready.
Pixar song. Think about, if you say the theme song from whatever, I'll give you a half point. I'll give you a half point.
Hey.
Oh, these are coming back to me now.
Yeah. You know some of the names from it.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
of
for
them.
sure.
I don't know if I'll get what you got.
If you're
but-
out in the audience, think about some of your Pixar songs. Which one are you picking?
Honestly, going with I think just my favorite movie songs. My favorite Pixar movies.
All right.
Some of these are hard,
we got about 15 seconds on my timer here. Almost there. People listening are like, okay.
I'm truly
so
just
worried.
pulling these out of nothing.
Hey, pull them out of nothing.
I hope that I kind of get a little bit of something here.
Well, maybe.
This one's hard.
I may do a bonus round on this one.
I need one more.
One of them's a musical, at least.
What?
Mm-hmm. We've talked about it in this podcast.
Oh, this one's
I've been
gotta
out
be
too
on there,
long.
Kyle.
Wow.
This one's got to be on there, Kyle.
Again, my choices are very basic.
Hey, I've got a lot of basic answers
last
on
one's
here.
got to be
There's
in the
nothing
five.
wrong
All right,
with
you got
going
yours?
back to the
This
basics.
might-
Nothing wrong. Am
I got
right?
you.
Kyle, my last one's the best Pixar song of all time. So if it's not on there, I'm going to be very upset.
My last one is the best Pixar song of all time. So we probably have the same one. Anj, do you have your 5?
I guess so.
Scared.
Okay.
I only need
Growling.
5.
As long as it's dorky. By the way,
Yeah, we never told the audience.
40. Yeah, it's 40.
And honestly,
She pulled
I
up a
thought
picture of
40.
Toy Story 4.
and I
believe.
lost it. It was great.
Dorky.
Dorky.
Although it'd also be a valid name for 40.
I really felt like he was going to say Forky too. It was my number 1. It was in bold.
It was my
on it.
number 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay,
that?
here we go. I've got a lot of answers on here, so give yourself a point if you've got any of these.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Married Life.
Yes.
Nice.
What?
Okay. Wow. You got Married Life.
Wow.
Married Life. It's the classic one from Up.
From Up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah,
It is a
it's horrible.
You've Got a Friend in Me.
Yes.
Yes.
Dang it.
Classic.
Got
First
it.
one.
I know.
Got a friend in me.
Wow. Thank you. That was very good, Randy Newman. That was a good Randy Newman.
What is happening?
Everyone, we're a Paradigm Shift is a leadership development company, not a musical talent.
Hey,
company,
listen.
so don't request us for that.
Impressions, though.
I thought it was pretty
Impressions,
good.
though.
Nemo's Egg.
Oh,
Nemo's Egg. Anybody?
Oh, man.
No.
I almost put some Nemo on.
Fun fact about Nemo's Egg, the song. My wife walked down the aisle to that song, and every time I listen to it, I still tear up to this day.
wow.
Yeah, it was a
don't
really
think I knew
special
that.
moment. Yeah.
That is.
I mean, I was there. And
All of our
so
songs
cute.
actually at the front part of our wedding, like the entrance to our wedding, were all
From
Pixar songs.
Pixar. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Brian
Married
actually
Life.
walked out to a Pixar song.
I did.
Yep.
Monsters Inc. song, right? At the end of Monsters Inc. Was it the door song at the very end of the movie?
Yeah.
Look at me
nice.
go. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
Camry would kill me if I didn't know that.
love Pixar, huh?
I got to double check after this to make sure it's that song.
I'm pretty sure it is.
All right. Speaking of which, If I Didn't Have You. That's from Monsters Inc. That's the Monsters Inc. song. If I Didn't Have You.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. All right. Next up, Cars. Life is a Highway.
Come on.
Yes.
Wow, we're so basic around.
Rapid
Yeah, these are
flats.
pretty basic. I
They
felt.
are.
I wish
But
I got deeper into
My
the
not
last,
answers.
basic.
my
They're
last
classic.
3 are not basic.
Not
so-
basic. They're classic. All right. Next one. Life is a Highway.
You already
I already
said that
one.
that. Remember Me.
Yes.
Yes, I put
Coco.
that one too.
Me too.
That's not even the best Coco song.
What are you going to say? Un Poco Loco?
Yes.
Everyone knows Juanita?
It's the best Pixar song.
Remember Me. Come on.
No.
Next up, what I said was my favorite one. I'm actually going to do one bonus one after this. La Festin from Ratatouille.
I had This Is
That
Me
is
from
a good
Ratatouille.
one, actually.
Oh, man. La Festin is classic. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. French contingent, please correct me. They're all watching the Olympics right now. All right. Next up, last one, Bundle of Joy.
Ah, dang it, Kyle.
Bundle of Joy from
no.
Inside Out.
Dang it.
I think I won that round too, though.
I got
All right,
3 in
tally
that
up your
round.
points. Tally up your points. Total score from both rounds.
I'm doing pretty good
At
for
home,
not being
see
a-
if
Look
you
who
beat
came
any
back.
of our facilitators here today.
Look who came back.
All right, Jess, how many points you got total?
In total, I have 4.
4 points. Everybody,
Wait,
round
from
of
this
applause
last
for Jess.
round?
4
No,
rounds.
total.
4 points total. Good
Okay.
job. 4 points total.
Okay.
Anj just said, "Oh shoot, how many points do you have, Anj?"
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
Man, that Doug really coming in handy.
He
All
really
right.
did.
Can I count? Can I add my ghost point?
No,
Dang it.
I will give you.
Ghost point is
It
just
doesn't
that.
matter.
It's ghost.
It's not going to
How
give me
many
the
you
win
got?
anyway.
What you got?
3.
3 points.
How
All
am
right.
I beating you?
Wow,
I had
round of
Bing
applause,
Bong
everybody.
as a sidekick. Bing Bong
Onchire
might be the best
actually
song.
won this
I
round.
did. Along with the other one, but this one too.
Along with the
Lim
other
wasn't
one.
here to beat her
That's
this
called a
time,
throwback,
so.
by the way, everybody. Hey, well, thank you for playing this game. When we come
Wow.
back from this break, we're going to get into this Pixar tournament. We're going to talk about last leadership lessons that we have from all of Pixar in general, and then we'll get you back to your regularly scheduled programming. Let's cue to music. Hey everybody, I bet you're wondering where Jared Murr is today. He's at the beach. But when he's not at the beach, he's often facilitating keynotes, group workshops, C-level coaching. He does all kinds of stuff. If you're interested in maybe spicing it up, doing some great content with your group, having a great time with some professional development, then you should check out Paradigm Shift. We work with organizations all over the country doing some awesome stuff, helping your team create positive change.
You know what, everyone? Let's give a big round of applause for Jess on the music today. Jess, you are killing it over there.
She was very nervous.
I am engineering for the first time.
You are
everybody.
Crushing it over there.
Are you the engineer now?
I believe so.
She is.
Wow.
This is my
The
hot
mantle
seat,
was passed.
as they call
Wow.
it. So catch me behind the box these days.
Catch her outside. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Well, awesome. Thank you, Brian, for passing it over to me for this tournament. We're going to get into it. I want to know just initial thoughts. We're not going to take a ton of time on each of these matchups, but we're going to look at these movies together. I want to know y'all's thoughts on each of them, which one should pass to the end of our Pixarpalooza. Remember, as a reminder to both our viewers, listeners, and the studio staff today, this is leadership lessons from a Pixar movie. This isn't necessarily your favorite. It's not the one with the best music, the best sidekick characters. This is leadership lessons from a Pixar movie. We're gonna move forward from there. Let's see our first matchup. We have Monsters University versus Cars 3. What are our initial thoughts before we go into this matchup?
Two heavy hitters, for sure.
No doubt.
I am Monsters University. Cars 3 is obviously my favorite. Everyone who knows me knows that Cars 3 is by far my favorite movie.
Love it.
The fact that I made it in the tournament, elated. But gosh, Monsters University, that is steep competition. Two very different movies giving very different lessons, but that's a tough one for me.
Okay. Any thoughts on Jess?
I think, well, I always like Cars 3 on like the succession of leadership, right? Like passing the mantle,
Right.
You know, training the next generation up, that kind of thing. So I like the lesson there. Monsters University has probably, I would argue, more. That's a big, powerful lesson, I think, in Cars 3. Wow. I think Monsters University might have more lessons throughout really the entire movie than only the big one that sticks out to me for Cars 3. So that's where it kind of stays a contender for me.
Wow, you're leaning Monsters U, huh?
I might be.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
I could be talked out of
I will
it.
say
Okay.
Monsters
I
U
could be
has
talked out of it.
grown in my personal estimations after our podcast episode on it. I was like, you know what? I didn't know there were so many life lessons from it.
Yeah.
If I have to vote right now, I think I'm going Cars 3.
Yeah.
I think I'm going Cars 3. Jess, do you have an opinion on this?
I don't, because I have never seen either of those movies.
Excellent. Thank you, Jess.
Jess
All
has
right. So
homework.
it's between the three of us on this particular.
Right. That's perfect. No ties here.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be
Cars
able to
3
decide
Monsters
easy.
U team. What do we think?
You're going Cars 3?
I think I'm going Cars 3.
Well, you're going to go Cars 3, aren't you?
I think I'm actually flipping. The more I sit and weigh on, I know
Whoa.
it breaks my heart.
Wow.
It shatters me to my core. But I rewatched Monsters University the other day, and just the simple fact of shattering expectations
Wow.
and
Yeah.
defying odds, it is amazing. It's so good. I think I'm going Monsters U. I think I'm leaning Monsters U.
Monsters U.
Nice.
Cars 3.
This ties to you. You get to break it.
That's,
Your pick.
yep. And I'm going Monsters University.
Sticking with Monsters U. All right. Well, it was a soft
Taking
Yeah.
it.
Okay. All right. Monsters
All
U.
right. Monsters
I'm gonna
U
be
going
honest.
on.
I'm surprised. I'm flabbergasted.
me too. Yeah.
I'm okay.
It hurt
Moving
me.
on to the next.
It hurt me to vote
Yeah.
against Cars 3, but
Well,
Cruz Ramirez not taking first place this
It
time.
sounds to me like you really did it based on leadership and
I
not
did.
based. Clearly, if Cars 3 is your favorite movie, then
I know. I tried
Cars
to take my
3 is
bias out of
Brian's
it.
favorite.
but-
yeah, that's good.
All right. Hey, if you have any questions about that one, go back, listen to the Monsters U episode. We got some good stuff on it. All right, who's going up against Monsters U in the finals? We have Toy Story 3 versus A Bug's Life. We have one of the greatest selling films of all time
Yeah.
versus one of the stories that they wanted to tell out the gate. Where are we at on Toy Story 3 versus Bug's Life? First of all, Jess, have you seen either of these?
No.
Okay.
Not even Bug's Life?
Just the engineer.
Really?
Really taking Lim's place today. Really,
You really
stepping
are.
on
You're
Lim's shoes.
owning the mantle
Well,
of Liminal.
it came out the year that I was born, which doesn't mean anything, but I mean, it was the first one.
Wow.
I think maybe I saw it in childhood,
Sure.
but I definitely don't remember anything about it. So,
Okay.
Okay. So you may have seen it before, but it's not resonating.
Right.
Gotcha.
Same with Toy Story 3.
As a quick reminder to our viewers, Toy Story 3, that's the one with Sunnyside Daycare, I believe,
Big
with
purple
the bear,
Yeah.
with the incinerator scene at the end. Wow, spoilers kind of at the end, but you know, also passing of some things.
I was thinking the same
toys.
thing.
Yeah.
I was like, well,
Also, if you haven't watched it at this point, though,
yeah,
that's
come
you.
on. It's
Been
one
out
of the
for too
greatest
long.
films of all time.
Come on.
yeah.
But also Bug's Life, based on Aesop's fable of the grasshopper and the ant. I mean, you got some great moments in that movie. Also, what are we thinking, team?
That one's hard.
I think just for the pure nostalgia of Bug's Life, I'm leaning more Bug's Life. I like it. And also I think of Toy Story 3 and I'm like, okay, we've got the same characters kind of going through a similar struggle that they faced the previous two. I just feel like Toy Story 3 has a lot of repetition in it, and Bug's Life being the original gives me more of the side of it's an original story. They're not building off of anything, and there's so many incredible lessons from it. So yeah,
It's a standalone, right? Like
is.
there wasn't
Yeah, it
a
is.
2
It
or
is,
3.
yes.
No,
or-
it's on its own. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my vote. I'm voting Bug's Life.
Okay, Anj, how are you taking it?
I think I would. That's actually really hard for me between the two, but I'm kind of with Brian. I think I'd go Bug's Life as well.
Wow, then my vote doesn't even matter. But for those who are out there wondering, I'm also Bug's Life. So
wow. Hey,
Wow.
Yeah,
we
rounding the
would've been-
table on Bug's Life. It's just got so many great lessons.
It does,
in
yeah.
Speaking
It's hard
of
not
great
to.
lessons, let's just go ahead and knock this thing out. We're going to figure out the greatest leadership Pixar film of all time right now, right here.
That's so much pressure.
I know. Monsters U or Bug's Life. Think about it for a moment. Once again, Monsters U, they go to college. They learn a lot about each other, perspectives. We have a whole lesson this year in our curriculum about perspective taking, and we believe in that ability. Bug's Life is really about courage and stepping up and communicating and strategic thinking and all kinds of stuff. So think about it for a moment. Bug's Life, Monsters U. We all love all of the characters. Which one is the greatest Pixar leadership film between the two?
Where are
Anj.
you leaning right now, Kyle?
Which way am I leaning?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
I wanna know
I don't
your
know. I
thoughts.
got to think about it. I've been talking.
I want your thoughts. You're definitely the
Okay.
superior Pixar
Oh, man.
knowledge library in the room. So I want to hear your thoughts on both of them before I make my final decision.
Here's the deal. Monsters U is great. We get to see a lot of different characters shine in really unique ways. It, to me, speaks about valuing people's strengths in diversity. Uzma Kappa is just a great little collection of
So
like
great.
Yeah.
awkward. It, to me, what it really says is, if you're familiar at all with sports, it's the idea that the best players do not necessarily make the best team. Because Uzma Kappa ends up like coming back,
Yep.
and they're not the best players in the game,
Yep.
but they rally as a team. So I love that idea. But whenever I think of individual leadership, Bug's Life to me, Flick is like, maybe he's the model for me as a leader because I'm a big strategic thinker. I come up with a lot of ideas. I'll be honest, sometimes I have a little bit of trouble communicating those to people. So that movie to me is just a big, I don't know, it's like a thesis for what I should follow as a leader. So I'm having a hard time separating the two.
Wow.
I think what I like about Monsters University is the like identity pull as leader, right? Like they had especially team identity. There was some individual identity within it as well, but they didn't start clicking and working until they figured out how to not be like everyone else.
Yeah.
And work like everyone else. Stop comparing themselves
Wow,
to
that's a
everyone else,
great
but
point.
work in their own strengths and together come out.
Wow. Yeah,
Well, and
no,
don't
very
forget
good.
from our podcast episode, one of the big takeaways that we all really liked from Monsters U was, hey, just because you have talent does not mean that you're a good scarer. Just having the one trick, James P. Sullivan, does not make you a good scarer.
One trick pony.
It's the, what's the quote? Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
Correct. That's
Right.
it.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong
Yeah.
stuff.
That's what I don't know.
speaks
I
volumes.
came into this thinking I was going to say Bug's Life, but
I'm leaning
Man, I
at
did
Monsters
too, but
U.
I'm moving toward. Are we all going to say Monsters U? Jess, you've heard about these main themes. Help me pick.
I think I also want to lean towards Monsters U just because of the diversity piece. I mean, it sounds to me like everybody has a different strength, and I think that if you're watching the movie from a leadership perspective, everyone can relate to somebody from the movie, maybe, or it'd be easier compared to Bug's Life. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Haven't seen them, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe just like something for everybody
true.
to relate to in that term. Maybe Monsters U.
Taking Monsters U? Monsters U?
I'm
Monsters
taking
U?
it. I'm
Monsters
taking
U?
it.
I'm voting it. I'm going Monsters U. That's
All
it.
right.
That's my
Hey.
winner. Winner,
Folks.
winner. Look at that.
We have the
Hit the
greatest
ham horn, Jess.
ham horn. Yeah.
Give me a second.
Come on, Engineer Jess.
Do we have a ham horn sound?
We
have
do.
a-
She's looking for it.
Oh wow.
Just start hitting random buttons.
Monsters U.
Wrong
She doesn't
one.
mean it.
No.
She doesn't mean it.
She takes it back.
Hey, I'll take
Hey, that was magical.
I'll take
that was very
Wait,
magical
here
in
we
the
go.
Pixar
Ready?
world.
It's the greatest Pixar leadership film of all time. Thank you for checking in with us on this. I want to do just one more.
We got there. You guys.
That was great.
I want to do one more big lesson that you're taking from this. Whether you've seen a Pixar movie or not, what's something that you've learned over the course of our Pixarpalooza as we're about to get back to our regularly scheduled programming? What are we taking away from this whole time that we've done it? I'm going to start with Brian. I'm going to go around the horn. What's up?
Man, we've just talked about all of the movies at this point, I feel like, and really just incredible lessons from all of them. So really, two things. I just think effective teamwork beats individual strengths every day of the week.
Nice.
Every day of the week. I think that's what gave Monsters U the edge in the entire tournament, is truly leaning into that side of, obviously, Roar Omega Roar was the superior scaring organization. But if I'm looking at my team, if I'm watching this from a leadership perspective, I'm watching it from a sense of how do I better lead my team and the people that I'm working with. And I just think Monsters U defines that almost perfectly from a variety of perspectives and from a variety of different areas. Like we said, Uzma Cap is not trying to replicate what Roar Omega Roar is doing. They're doing what they're good at, and in turn gives them the victory within it. So it just, man, it's really powerful stuff. So leaning into team strengths as opposed to individual strengths is always going to pay off in the end.
Very nice. I'm going to go counterclockwise. So, Jess, what's something you learned through this whole process?
I think it's been interesting. Never seeing literally any of these movies. I'm not a Pixar girly. Seeing how adults can also pick up on the things that were meant for children. And we know that Pixar does that on purpose. I mean, most of the time I feel like they wrote the movies for adults, but they just altered it to be for children. You know what I'm saying? So like the messages do reign to be true no matter what your age is. And I mean, I've just kind of seen how everybody perceives each thing, and things are really as deep as you think they are. Like, I mean, especially from the perspective of what children are able to understand. I think sometimes as adults, we can also be reminded of those things in the same ways, and it's still applicable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of share the same thought as you there, Jess. I think things have as much value as we give to them. So if we want to be inspired by something as simple as a kid's Pixar movie, we can be inspired by those things. And I'm going to encourage all of us in the room and all of those out there, find ways to seek inspiration, whether it's a movie, whether it's a walk that you go on. I've just been inspired this whole time by, these little metaphors that we've found throughout the entire thing. And I think we can find that inspiration in, the quarterback series that we've talked about in the past. It could be in a video game that we play, or a new app feature that we mentioned way back in the day. But yeah, find those metaphors in everyday life, get inspired, something like a Pixar film. All right, Anj.
I think my big lesson from all of these really is that change takes courage at the end of the day. If you think all the way down to Bug's Life or Monsters U, I mean, it takes courage to change the culture of a team. It takes courage to try a new idea that no one thinks will work. It takes courage to change a team or switch teams. It takes courage to really find a way to make a succession plan that goes after you and beyond you, and you're not the only leader of that team forever and for always. And so I think my big takeaway truly is that change really does take courage, and being able to understand your part in the story that you're in. We're talking about Pixar and all these different movies, and it's easy to say something like change takes courage. But if you think about what some of these characters really had to go through, some really low points they had to get to. Maybe you're in a high point of that courage mark for you as a leader. Maybe you're in kind of a low point where you're like, I'm not seeing any positive change out of this. It's not getting any easier. In fact, this team's just getting harder, or I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. There's a lot of characters in and through a lot of different movies that we have talked about over the course of these last few weeks that you could also resonate with in that too. So it's easy to talk about a lot of the highs, but when we're talking about real true change and marking leadership in that way, a lot of it really comes down to being able to have the courage to face another day and also understand you won't be there forever. None of us have ever been in any season of life forever, almost never. And so just remembering that, seeing that, even getting inspired through the creativity of Pixar has been really beneficial for me and really helpful to be working through. So I don't think we mentioned it, but hey, we're going to be going on a break coming out of here. So a few weeks break here. Jess and I will be coming to you live with Jared and a couple other key guests. Might be people I'm pointing to, might not be, in about a month or so. So be looking out for that. Thanks for joining us at the ending and finale of this Pixarpalooza. Go out there and be a good leader.
Today.
Maybe we're ending the episode.
And
Bye, everybody.
hey, we were working through it, Jess. You're crushing it.
First day on the job, guys.
We got there. We got there.